Chanel Albertine from Cape Mental Health is joining me in studio. Today we're going to be speaking about mental health in South Africa's youth. Hello.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming in. Now you've just come back from a kite fly in Kite.
Yeah.
Tell me about the Kite Festival and why it's done every year.
Okay, so Cape Mental Health hosts a kite festival every year. It's actually considered one of the biggest in Africa. This year we're doing our 21st International Kite Festival, and it's happening on the 30th of November, and 30th of October and the 1st of November, so it's this Saturday and Sunday. And kiters from all around the world will be flying their amazing huge kites. It's a brilliant day to bring family along and just spend the day in the sun flying a kite. There are kites available also at the Kite Festival that you can purchase, and they are affordable. They're under 100 Rand. All the proceeds will go to Cape Mental Health.
What is the relationship between kites and mental health?
Yeah, people ask us a lot. Well, the thing is, flying kites, anybody can do it. You don't have to have a lot of money. You can make a kite out of newspaper. Any ability, you can have any ability basically. If you are wheelchair bound, you can also fly a kite. Also, being out in the open, in the air. Spending time with your family, with your children, those are all things that are really good for your mental health. The kite's basically been associated with mental health, being outdoors, having a hobby, doing stuff that is good for you.
Now, when it comes to mental health, do you find a lot of people don't really understand what mental health is?
Yeah, most definitely. Mental illness is very stigmatized. And people are afraid of things that they don't know. So that's where we come in as Cape Mental Health. We try and eradicate that stigma and, raise awareness about mental health, mental illness, intellectual disability as well. And just try and get conversations, going, flowing, and try and eradicate that stigma.
What are the biggest stigmas or misconceptions about mental health in South Africa?
I would say the biggest one is that it's not very common, especially with how media portrays people with a mental illness, very violent and unable to hold a job. That crazy person. Where, in actual fact, if you look at the statistics, 1 in 4 people, according to the World Health Organization, 1 in 4 people will suffer from a mental illness severe enough to affect their lives. So that's 1 in 4 people. That's actually quite a high statistic. So the probability of, someone in your family having a mental illness or you yourself having a mental illness is really high. So, it can happen to anyone, not these people that we think are crazy, and that it's rare or whatever. I would say, that's a big sort of misconception.
That's quite a high number. It sounds like there probably are a lot of people who have a mental illness who just go through life undiagnosed.
Yes, yeah, most definitely.
So what does that mean for someone who's living life undiagnosed with a mental illness? What can you paint that picture for us?
Yeah, it's harder for, if you are suffering with a mental illness, it's hard enough to cope with your daily stresses of life. Okay, so if you have a mental illness, compared to quote unquote normal people or someone without a mental illness, you struggle to deal with stresses that someone normally would be able to handle. So that's already a problem, and now you're not able to seek help because you don't know that you have a problem, or you don't know that there is help for a certain problem that you have. So that obviously, it makes it worse. It makes life, less bearable and harder to go through.